As I have said before in my videos, I love Lonesome Dove. I never get tired of watching it and enjoying the classic lines that permeate the film. Recently, I did a video called Lonesome Dove, 5 Classic Scenes. The reception of that video has been very good so far. Consequently, I decided to do this video I call Lonesome Dove, 10 Classic Lines. The other video featured whole scenes of a few minutes each. This video will feature much shorter clips focusing on a memorable line or two. Since Lonesome Dove is chock full of classic lines, it was difficult picking out just 10. I'm sure most of you will wonder how I left out one of your favorites. However, when you're limiting it to just 10, some have to be left out. So here goes my 10 classic lines. Gus says this first classic line twice in Lonesome Dove. The first time he is talking to Bowl, and the second time he is talking to Clara. He is never shy about his abilities with the opposite sex, and he makes it clear that even though he's gotten a little older, he still has the magic.
She is old, like you.
Well, the older the violin, the sweeter the music. You ought to bring her up here to meet me sometime. Well, I can't see that you've aged that much.
Well, I have, and so have you, although I doubt you'll admit it.
Well, the older the violin, the sweeter the music. Now, you ever hear that?
This second classic line is on every Lonesome Dove classic line list. Woodrow issues this warning after severely beating an Army scout who deserved the whipping.
I hate rude behavior in a man. Won't tolerate it.
Classic line number 3 is also on most Lonesome Dove classic line lists. Gus and Woodrow are in San Antonio and are forced to deal with dawdling service from a bartender. Gus takes care of the problem in typical Gus fashion.
Now, besides the whiskey, I think we'll require a little respect. Now, I'm Captain Augustus McCrae. This is Captain Woodrow F. Call. Now, if you care to turn around, you can see how we looked when we was younger, and the people around here wanted to make us senators. Now, the thing we didn't put up with then was dawdling service. And as you can see, we still don't put up with it.
This fourth one may not be as repeated as some of the more famous classic lines. However, it just emphasizes Gus's way with words. Jake Spoon has just arrived in Lonesome Dove and comments on how Dietz was wearing the same hat 10 years ago last time he saw him. Gus chimes in.
Hey, didn't Dietz have that same cap before I left? Well, you know Dietz, he ain't one to quit on a garment just because he got a little age.
Well, number 5 certainly is a classic. It seems that any time Gus is in the presence of a woman, sparks are gonna fly. This time he is trying to get romantic with Lori, but she informs him that she is now Jake's woman. Gus suggests cutting the cards to determine whether or not they should proceed. Once again, classic Gus.
You cheated, didn't you?
Well, I wouldn't say I did, I wouldn't say I didn't, but I will say this. A man who wouldn't cheat for a poke don't want one bad enough. Come on, darling.
In number 6, Gus and Woodrow are on their horses, just leaving Lonesome Dove for the long journey to Montana. Woodrow tells Gus that they might as well be leaving because there is no more fun around there. Gus lets Woodrow know his take about the two of them and fun.
Fun's all over down here for sure. Yeah,
Fun? Oh, you know about fun, Woodrow. You never had no fun in your whole darn life. Fun is my department. And now that you're back, I think I'll ride into town, see if I can't scare me up a little bit of it.
Number 7 is another horseback conversation between Gus and Woodrow. This time they're discussing the sign that Gus made at Lonesome Dove and that he loaded up for the long cattle drive. As you would expect, Woodrow thinks it is stupid to take the sign, and once again, Gus has all the answers.
That's a dang stupid thing to do, bringing that old sign along. You'll have us a laughing stock of this whole country with that "we don't rent pigs" part.
Well, we don't rent pigs. And I figure it's better to say it right up front. Because a man that does like to rent pigs he's hard to stop.
And if that ain't bad enough, you get all them Greek words on there, too.
I told you, Woodrow, a long time ago, it ain't Greek, it's Latin.
Well, what does it say, that Latin?
Well, it's a motto. It just says itself. Jovarum feet, Jovarum double feet, whatever.
You don't have no idea what it says. You found that in some old book or something. For all you know, it invites people to rob us.
Well, first man comes along that can read Latin is welcome to rob as far as I'm concerned. I'd like the chance to shoot at an educated man once in my life.
There's a scene with Lori and Gus camped by the river that has a couple of good lines. I'll call number 8, Feisty Gentleman and Shriveled Pod.
Now, if you want only one thing too much, it's likely to turn out a disappointment. Now, the only healthy way to live, as I see it, is to learn to like all the little everyday things.
Yeah, like what?
Like a sip of good whiskey of an evening, or a soft bed, or a glass of buttermilk, or say, a feisty gentleman like myself. Man, this water's so cold. I believe it shivered my pie. Well, it wasn't getting no business today anyway.
Yeah.
Number 9 also takes place during Gus and Woodrow's trip into San Antonio. They find a potential replacement for their cook Bowl who has quit. Woodrow asks the new candidate, Pocampo, if he'll get homesick for his wife and quit like Bowl did. Pocampo's response is definitely classic.
Just 1 minute, I'll be ready to go with you.
Well, hang on there a minute. You ain't gonna get off down the trail a mile or two and go missing your wife or something like our last cook done, are you?
My wife is in hell where I sent her. She could make good biscuits, but her behavior was terrible.
I think this is our man.
Gus's deathbed scene with Woodrow shows the love and respect each has for the other. There are a few lines I want to work in, so I'll just call this Gus's goodbye lines.
What you want legs for anyway? You don't like to do nothing but sit on the porch and drink whiskey.
I like to kick a pig every once in a while. How would I do that? Pour us a drink, Woodrow. Arguing with you always makes me thirsty. You ain't gonna become a drunkard over this, are you? I've walked this earth my whole life with my pride, see. Now, if that's lost, then let the rest be lost with it. Because there's certain things my vanity won't abide.
Your goddamn vanity. You're one of a kind, Augustus. We're gonna miss you.
Even you?
Even me.
Augustus.
I got Woodrow. It's been quite a party, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, give a thumbs up, make a comment, and most of all, subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for watching.